Hotel housekeepers, what is the nastiest thing you've seen when cleaning a room? Friend of mine is a night manager a local chain hotel. She says about 3 times a year, someone will check into the hotel specifically to kill themselves. She said that they don't want their family to find them dead at home. So they do it in a hotel room. Unfortunately, the poor housekeeping staff are the ones to find them. I work in a nice hotel in Myrtle Beach. SC once had a middle-aged couple check in for a few days after they check out, went to clean their room and found condoms stuck the ceiling, shit inside the coffee pot, skid marks on the bedspread and towels, puke in the sink, pubes all over the toilet set, soured milk left out on the balcony, bathtub full of dirty diapers, rotten meat left in a bed, sand everywhere. BTW, this was all in the same room. I worked in college as a housekeeper for a few months. In my first week I walked into a room to do a day cleaning, not a checkout, and found the bathtub about 2/3 filled with vomit. When I asked them WTF happened, in more polite words, they, completely unabashed, said that the night before they'd been drunk and one or other had bet them they couldn't fill the bathtub with vomit. I still gag a little thinking of it. Front desk, not housekeeping, but I'll tell. Guests wiped their asses in the towels, rubbed it on the walls, and laughed at housekeeping when they came in the room. Lady put her bloody, used tampon on the wall. The blood acted as a glue and it cemented there, and had to be pried off. Guests left 3-week-old rotten milk in the refrigerator when they left. But they only stayed 3 days. So that means when they checked in the milk was already 2.5 weeks old. Who lugs around rotten milk? I was a hotel porter for a few years after leaving school. 3 things that stand out that the housekeepers found. A long-term stay had a twin room, the bed he wasn't sleeping on was completely covered in porn mags. Mostly over 50s, all open to what I guess was his favorite pages. He also had a hentai DVD collection. A used vibrator. This thing was smelly. Found on top of a wardrobe. A photo of a rather old-looking junkie woman, naked and spread-eagled with a phone number written on the back to call for a good time. This was also found on top of a wardrobe. Was a cleaner but did some Airbnbs in downtown Vancouver, not actual hotels. This one old heritage house seemed to be a magnet for the worst people. Like 8 Irish girls were crammed in the house and they really liked to drink. There was about an inch deep of vomit around the toilet and our boss gave someone a $20 bonus to clean it up. They were also just generally filthy. A lady with a tiny dog had let it poop all over the house. It was a cute heritage house we're talking about here with nice hardwood floors, and she just let this thing go to town everywhere. She was staying there for multiple days too, so I guess she was fine hanging out in a house full of dog crap. A guy got so drunk he shat the bed. He was so embarrassed that he paid for the removal of the whole mattress himself, so we luckily didn't have to deal with the aftermath of that incident. Not a housekeeper, but worked in a very high-end luxury hotel. Lady had illegal butt implant/injection surgery in a hotel suite. Blood everywhere and blamed it on an unexpected menstrual cycle. She didn't want the housekeepers to throw out the towels because they were too nice. She offered to keep the towels and wash them herself. Eye roll. Drunk guy somehow got in staff area overnight and literally pooped all over the laundry room. Trail of feces. Found him passed out near one of the industrial washers. A couple ordered in-room dining for themselves and their kid. After checkout, the housekeeper reported the adults apparently let their kid pour an entire container of syrup and jam all over the bed, then mashed up pancakes in the bed. Like it was art or something. These are $400 bed linen. I should have double fined those idiots. Not a hotel worker but a detective in a large town with plenty of hotels. FYI. People die in hotels on the regular. Overdose. Alcohol poisoning and suicide top the list of reasons. Worst I've ever seen? Man tried to kill himself by cutting open his forearms. Wasn't working fast enough, so he turned the razor on his throat and got through his esophagus before choking on his own blood and dying. That room was utterly ducked. I've seen some bad shit, but I can't imagine being the next person to rent that room. I worked at a hotel for several years during my high school summers. I've seen used condoms, disgusting carpets and beds full of food and beer stains, and vomit-filled sheets and towels. Didn't bother me, I don't mind cleaning that stuff. But one day I walk into a room where they requested no housekeeping for their entire week stay. They have left and I'm going to clean it, and I walk in and this horrible smell hits me. I walk all around the room trying to find the smell and finally find one of our small garbage cans hidden behind the floor-length curtains, and it is full of piss. If you've ever smelled week-old piss that's been sitting in the hot sun, then you'll know how it seeps into your nose and mouth. I dumped it in the bathtub, scrubbed like hell, and let the room air out for an entire day. Hotel housekeeper for over 2 years. The thing that sticks out the most was a gigantic hollow plastic figurine of Dopey from Snow White filled to the brim with used needles. In that room there was also wet clothes thrown everywhere, bloody condoms, inside and out, and sex toys covered in gray and green goop on the floor. I had them banned from the hotel. Maintenance at a hotel here. Room full of heroin junkies. Called the police and got them arrested. Drugs all over. Needles. Spoons. Hockey players shit in the drip tray of an ice machine in the hallways. We don't put plungers in every room, that's gross and tacky. Had a family of 3 larger-sized people stay for 3 days. They check out and told another maintenance guy the toilet was plugged, so we went to take care of it. The toilet was full to the rim and overflowing with shit and piss. Called Roto-Rooter and tipped them handsomely. It looked like it was plugged their first day. People having sex behind the hotel right under the camera. Clearly high on drugs. I asked them what room they were in and they told me a room number that we don't have. The male says, "Please don't tell anyone inside, my GF is in there." The girl said, "My boyfriend is inside." They leave and I watch them. They jump over the railing near a creek and start doing it again. I called the police. Guy was smoking cigarettes in his room. I knocked on his door to kick him out and he opened the door with his pants hanging around his ankles and his dangling baguette in clear view. He was old and gross. Had like 150 beer cans all over. Called the police to kick him out. He was clearly drunk and he had no license, but the cops didn't know that. The cop walked him to his truck. No idea what happened after that. Edit, wow, can't believe I forgot about this one. Maybe it's because I want to forget it. Help save a girl from human trafficking. Elaborate on the last one, please. Sure. We had 2 guys and a girl check in the middle of winter. They stayed for about 3 days. No luggage. That's the first clue. The 2 guys were really thuggish looking. The girl was really skinny with a short sleeve shirt on and short shorts in 0-degree weather. She really looked like a hooker. They got a 1-queen room. So logically only 2 people can sleep in that room. I mean 3 people can sleep on a queen, but that's kinda hard. I went into white knight mode and called my managers. It was all just really fishy. I can't kick someone out unless they do something bad. Even if there's people filtering in and out of the room. We need probable cause, like someone smoking cigarettes in that room or sneaking a dog in or something. All 3 of us are watching the cameras from our phones the whole time they were there. The bosses would be at home and call me if they saw something. They called me and told me that the 2 males left the room and got into their car and left. So now the female is alone. Not even 10 minutes later a new car shows up and somehow he had the card to get inside the building. The new guy didn't even go near the front desk. He had to have met up with the first 2 males to get the card. He went straight to his room and left a half hour later. 10 or 15 minutes later another guy shows up. Same exact thing. And again. Eventually it slowed down, but the next day it picked up. Every 12 hours or so the original guys came back to the room and then left. We assumed to collect the money, but he always came back with some food for her, I'm assuming. This went on for the remainder of their stay. But like I said, I can't kick these people out because they aren't doing anything that can make me kick them out. They aren't being loud or anything. No neighbor guests aren't complaining. On the last day, I knew it was only the woman in the room. Front desk gets a call from that room saying that the heater isn't working from a male. The male was gone, and said the heater isn't working. So the woman had to have called him and said the heater isn't working, and then he called us. So I went down to the room to go swap out the PTAC, and the lady is wearing the same exact short sleeve shirt and short shorts she was when she checked in. Garbage all over the place because they put the do not disturb sign on the door. All the towels were untouched. The shower looks untouched. Keep in mind this is day 3. I asked the lady what she was doing here in town, and she responded that she was going to a national park close by. It's winter and it's closed. She can't go there. I knew it right then and there, something was really going on. We hear a knock on the door and I'm picking up my tools and I'm walking out of the bedroom, and she opens the door and closes it, and this ugly looking guy says, "How much do I owe you?" And he looks at me. And I said, "Okay, well, if you need anything else just give us a call." I left and immediately called the police. The police show up and arrest the man for questioning. All my managers are here now, and the police told my manager she admitted to being forced to sell sex. We found a book in the room with how many clients she had and how much money she got for each of them. I didn't get to look at it long, but I found it in the room. Ever since that happened and one of my best friends almost got stuck in this shitty situation, I volunteer for a tip line for people who want help getting out of sex slavery. We never found out what happened to the original 2 males or for the female. I'm just happy she's out of it.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.